but we were streaming, so I can just rip that part of the video. Okay. So now we're recording and streaming because I forgot. So
to recap, we were in Virginia. We went to St Albans. It was my first time, and I find the whole place to be very peaceful.
Yeah. What do you think of the general aesthetic of the building? It's probably my favorite part about it.
So I love old buildings, whether they're well kept or they're not well kept. I just absolutely love everything about it. So being able to be in an essentially abandoned area was very cool. Very, very cool. I liked it.
Yeah. And you were in the isolation areas.
Correct.
So you had, what was it? It was like 3 floors, right?
Yes, 3 floors, the different levels of isolation. So I mostly stayed on the bottom floor because that was when we were getting our quick walkthrough, we were told there's a lot of activity down there. And it was the area with the smallest cells. And then that really weird bathtub.
Yeah, they have the tub, and then they have like the nursing station right next to the tub.
Right. Yeah. Which was very cool. And then the middle floor was the medium level isolation. Matt spent a lot of time up there.
Matt got a good scare out of some people up there too.
Yeah, well, that's because he walks around so quietly. The man needs Tic Tacs in his pockets. And then the highest level where it was the least amount of isolation as far as it was interesting looking through the 3 levels. The thicknesses of the doors changed, the sizes of the room changed. You could kind of get a feel for what it must have been like to be a patient there.
Yeah, and me and Megan were down in. We had alcoholics. We had the birdcage, and we had long dark hallway. Oh, and the dragon room. We got some stuff. And, did you get anything in your areas, isolation?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
My gut says no.
You don't get something every time. We had 2 spirit boxes going. Well, you had a spirit box. I had.
We had we had one. They had one.
We had our Paraforce ribbon pod, which we got from Ghost Augustine. Shout out to Ghost Augustine. Some IR thermometers, K2s, all the standard stuff. And the camera might move because the cat's a jerk. But you didn't get much down there. We got some stuff in alcoholics, but the most of the stuff we got, which is a first for me, because cat, gather. Hold on. Most of the stuff we usually get is in the attic. I've never really gotten anything in the dragon room. They call it the dragon room because there's a big dragon on the wall in the back.
Which was a very cool painting, actually. Yeah. I'd love to know the story behind that.
I don't know it. I could ask. But we got a lot of spirit box hits down there. And the spirit box, I mean, it can be hit and miss. But we were using one of my favorite methods, the Eustace method, which is where somebody has the headphones on with like noise canceling headphones, and they can only hear the spirit box. And as you're asking questions, they're just saying whatever they hear, so that get down.
My first time using that method was on that trip up to Virginia, and I like it. It's disorienting though when you're wearing the headphones. Of course, I was talking to Becky about it, and she's like, "Why did they give the person with the hearing problems the headphones? Because you can't hear anybody anyway."
But yeah, that way it cancels out the power of suggestion.
Right.
So like I can't be listening for a certain answer, and auditory pareidolia is a thing, and you don't give yourself the answer that you want to hear.
Right. Absolutely. Instead, you hear about beef jerky.
Yeah, we'll get to that too. But yeah, in the birdcage, we had some fun up there with the people that I'm not going to get into details with it. It's a little much for this.
I did have fun with the public groups coming through though.
Yeah. But yeah, in the dragon room, we talked to somebody who called himself Radio, and that came through a lot. Mm-hmm. And we asked him why he liked to call himself Radio. It's because he liked to tinker with electronics, apparently. And Scott asked him if he needed Viagra, and he said yes.
I'm still trying to decide how he knew what Viagra was.
I don't know.
Because I looked it up, and Viagra did not become a drug until after St. Albans shut down.
I don't know.
I'm telling you, St. Albans shut down in what, 97? And it didn't come out till 98. That's how curious I was about the Viagra. I looked into this.
I think that was just like a thing that popped into the radio and somebody said it.
So, beef jerky.
Beef jerky.
I got that. Okay,
Yeah.
Viagra.
Yeah. But, I mean, we didn't get a whole lot. I think, didn't me come through one time, hun?
Yes, I believe I was told that.
Okay.
Not the hun he was talking to, but yes.
Yeah, typically, sometimes, or most of the time that I'm there at St Albans, because I've been there a number of times, we have something come through that calls itself me. And usually when he comes through, he kills your batteries. But it only came through one time this time. And it was real quick, and then it was gone.
Do you think perhaps things were sort of quiet there that night because there were so many people in the building?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Anytime there's a public, it's usually, you don't get a whole lot because you have so many people coming through.
That's what I was thinking.
But afterwards, you usually get some stuff because everything kind of dies down a little bit. That's why afterwards, I got to take you around the whole building and show you the whole building. What was your favorite part of the whole building?
My favorite part of the whole building? I honestly, it's that stinking bathtub. Something about that bathtub, which is weird because I'm not like one of those like I need a bubble bath every night kind of people. I think because that bathroom or that particular bathroom that had that bathtub, it reminded me of very much something like One Flew Out of the Cuckoo's Nest, which I love that movie. So it was neat to have like a spooky version of it in front of me. And if that's not the answer, my answer would be I liked that little closet in that attic room that we went up into where we set up.
Room?
Yeah, I liked that room. Not the bathroom though. The bathroom in that room I did not like.
The suicide bathroom?
Right, but the room itself I liked the room. And the closet was all right. Usually I don't like small spaces and I was okay with it.
And no tea sets materialized.
Well, I mean there was that cup.
There was the cup that was handed to me. But he did try to scare us one time.
Didn't work.
But I caught him before he did it.
Didn't work.
That's what he tries to do. But yeah, it was a great time. It was her first really big location, and it's a place that I love to go to, and we can always go back to.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a good time.
We did another location too. We can't say where, but it was a very nice location. They have made a lot of changes to it, and it looks awesome.
I was impressed.
Yeah, some new things in there that look very realistic. But we were in a particular part of that room, of that place, and we were running the spirit box. And it was pretty vulgar. Something about, like, it wanted me to hold its dick.
I believe it was hold my penis.
Okay, it said hold my penis.
Hold my penis.
Which typically isn't going to be something you hear on the radio, usually.
Yes. And it said it to me, but you were asking the question. So
Yeah.
I heard it, but it was you that needed to hold the penis.
Yeah, I needed to hold the penis. And it wanted all of my beef jerky.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of the beef jerky. That's the way it sounded when it said it. It was like it was coming through in different levels. And I was like, beef jerky? I don't know if that's right.
And we do have some video. I'm not going to post it or show it here, but with the K2 going crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It had been sitting there for a good amount of time without doing anything. And then it would spike, and then it would die down. Then it would spike, and then it would die down. Then it would spike and repeat.
Yeah, it went for a while.
Actually, watching that video, it went on for longer than we realized, too.
So before we noticed it?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. We didn't get the Paraforce REM pod to go off at all, really.
No, it didn't do anything for us in St. Albans either.
No. The only place I've had that go off so far, we only used it in 3 places. And the one place that's gone off consistently in response to questions and stuff was at Hell and Blazes for one of the Booze and Brews, Dinner and a Ghost things that we did.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a fun paranormal trip. It was a long... We didn't sleep a whole lot.
Yeah, it was very much a whirlwind. That trip up, we went up, did our 2 investigations, and came right back.
Yeah.
Kind of knocked me on my butt for a week.
Yeah, so like we left at about 10 at night, got there at about 10 in the morning. I told you it was going to be about 12 hours. Regardless of what GPS says, 12 hours is what you're looking at.
I didn't want to believe you, but I guess you were right this time.
And we ate breakfast, slept for maybe an hour, 2 hours. Took Cora to Nana's house.
Right.
Shout out to Nana for watching Cora for 2 days. And we went straight to the investigation. We were there until like 3, maybe.
Yeah, I think we got back to the hotel by like 4.
Yeah, we got back to the hotel by 4. And then we slept till that morning and then got straight up.
Yep.
Breakfast, shopped around a little bit, and then another investigation.
Yep. It was a lot, but it was good. It was worth it.
Yeah. And then we got some sleep again. Had to wake up early again to go get Cora, get some breakfast, and then go right back home.
I did discover I think I'm too old for that many all-nighters in a row.
Yeah.
But it was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. The road trips are always fun. I put on some your favorite stand-up comedy.
I put in my earplugs in to sleep.
Some of it had Matt laughing. I was surprised.
You know, Matt makes more noises than people think he does.
And we went to a store called Chocolate Paper.
Yes.
And we did pick up, since we are an all spooky things podcast, we picked up this book.
We each got a copy, and I really like mine. Have you looked? How much have you looked through
Megan
it?
just started hers. She started reading it. I didn't want to read it while she was reading it.
Okay.
Did yours dry out okay?
Mine actually didn't get wet. It was my other books I got wet.
Okay.
My non-spooky book.
But it's a real cool book. It's like the illustrated history of ghosts and such.
And also, it smells really good. Mine smells
You like
good.
the smell of the book, correct?
Mine smells fantastic.
Another book that I'll show real quick before we go into anything else. I picked this up for the drive there, and then I realized we're leaving at night.
Kind of dark, kind of hard to see.
So I read most of this on the way back from Virginia, called Horror Store.
So how is it?
It's good. It's some of it's kind of predictable, and it veers off wildly. At like you get to like a certain point, and it's just like we're done with the regular stuff now. Here's a bunch of gory, weird, satanic shit.
Oh, just kind of like thrown in there?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of like. Did you ever watch House on Haunted Hill?
No.
Like the old '90s one.
No.
Well, there's an older one, but the '90s one is the one I'm thinking of. Because like they go in there and it's about this girl who she works at a store that's like a knockoff IKEA.
Right.
And I don't want to give too much away, but eventually the manager tells her, "Look, we're going to have somebody stay overnight because we have these things that are happening." Like they find like a pile of shit on a couch that wasn't there the night before.
Like human?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or things they break, so they think it's paranormal, and then from there it just goes. I mean, that kind of tells you that right there, and then the back of it tells you how everything kind of turns.
So the book is Horror Story, and who writes it? It's written by
Grand Hendricks.
Grady Hendricks.
Grady Hendricks.
Grady Hendricks.
Why did I say
All right.
Grand?
I mean, because it's got the same letters.
Yeah, but it's cool. Like it's cool because it starts off with like little IKEA drawings, and then the further you go, you find one of the other ones. No, that's another regular one. It starts bringing in like these weird cult-like pieces of furniture.
So recommended or not recommended?
I recommend it.
Where'd you find it? Oh yeah, you said you got it at an actual bookstore.
I got this at Books A Million.
How's the crack?
I haven't smelled the book.
Why not? It's the first thing I do. I can't read a book if I haven't smelled its crack.
So, the place that we're going to be doing here this month, actually.
Oh yeah, it's February.
It's one that we've been trying to get into for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
So we can be vague. How vague should we be about it?
I mean, it's...
That's
so,
really vague.
I know, I'm really good at this. Also, I have a headache and I can't think straight. But so it's a local shop. We have a slight affiliation with the place, so that kind of helped us finally make our way to get inside. Although they've been investigated before by somebody not affiliated by us.
I know the team, but yeah.
So, we know the team, but we weren't there because we're not that team. It's supposed to have some pretty good activity. It's a real old movie theater. I don't know what it was before that.
It was a theater it was like a goth dance club or something. Somebody
really was it? I don't remember that.
Yeah, somebody told me that.
Okay.
And then it was like an art gallery thing.
I remember the art gallery. Yeah. When was it a goth club?
Before, I think after the theater, before anything else.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that lines up.
If you're local, you know what we're talking about with that description. It was a theater, and then it was an art gallery, and apparently at some point it was a goth dance club. I don't remember who told me that. Was it you?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah.
I'm looking forward to going in.
Mm-hmm. Me too. We've been trying to get there for a while, and things finally lined up.
Right. I know Kiddo's excited. My 12-year-old's going to get to go with us. It'll be her first investigation. So she's going in kind of like as a junior investigator, and she's very excited about it.
And then the place we're going to after that, we still need to plan, is it's a famous one for Florida called Casadega.
Mm-hmm.
It is like the largest spiritual camp.
Well, it's the first spiritual camp.
It's the shoot off from New York, I thought.
Well, it's the first in Florida.
Okay.
Correct. Shoot off from New York.
Okay.
I don't know when it was founded. Do you?
I had a book on it, and then that probably got burned up.
That's rough. So before we go, I'm going to look a little bit. I've been there, but I'm going to look a little bit more into it before we go. I want to say that hotel was built in the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Okay. And before we go further, I completely forgot that I had pictures for St. Albans.
You have them yourself? The ones you were waiting for?
Not the ones that I was waiting for. I have the ones that I took. The ones that you have. All right. See, I'm gonna try and get those pictures real quick. Oh my! I just pulled them off of here.
Well, hey. Yeah, because I sent them right over the email.
There they are.
There they are. So these are pictures I took from the inside when I was in the isolation unit.
I just want to say.
And I was just trying to get them because I wanted to be able to look back on them later to kind of get a feel for what it really looked like. I should have sent you the one of the nursing station. I thought the nursing station was interesting because it's so different from what nursing stations look like now. And although it had plexiglass and it had stuff up to, I'm assuming to keep the patients away from the nurses, but it didn't seem like it would really do that much.
Sorry, I'm listening. I'm just trying to pull these in here while we talk.
The cat's trying to eat the cord.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, your pictures are going to be. There we go. Now I can.
It's like it's super zoomed in. What's up with that?
I'm going to change it here in a second.
All right.
There we go. That's one of the isolation cells, right?
Correct. That is one of the isolation. Which, when I took these, my camera has a setting where it can take pictures in the dark. So I didn't realize there was stuff in the room until I looked at the picture.
It was like a chair. And you got some pareidolia going on that window right there. Mm-hmm. It looks like some kind of creature kind of peer in. But it's just the shadows.
Right.
And we got here. Let me adjust this one. Transform, fit to screen. Nope, that didn't work how I wanted it to. Let's try this. Transform, fit to screen. Nope, god damn it. There we go. And then transform, and then fit to screen. Oh, there we are.
Hey. That's another isolation cell.
It flipped our video. Oh well. But yeah, that's another angle of the isolation area. I'm going to mirror us back because I don't know why I did that. Flip horizontally. Oh, you're kidding me.
I think you should flip us vertically so we look like we're just hanging off the wall.
Sorry, having some OBS troubles here. Hold on.
This is the moment where I go, what's OBS?
Oh, it's the system we're running on. This is
Got
OBS.
it. Okay.
So we showed 2. Okay, and then what is that one?
That is another of the isolation cells. Did only 4 come through?
Yeah, I only got 4.
That's the nurse's station.
Okay, that's a cool one with me.
I definitely thought I sent you the bathtub.
Oh, goddamn. This goddamn thing. What is she messing with?
Your chair.
Okay.
Your chair has become her bitch.
And it flipped again. This motherfucking... People that are listening to the audio podcast, like, what the hell's going on? Flip. Oh, of course it flips that. Anyway, that's the nurse's station in the isolation area.
Super. It's weird because it was such a big room and then that was such a tiny little nurse's station. I'm guessing they didn't spend much time behind it?
Probably. Let me change this back. Oh, transform. Flip horizontal. There we go. All right. And then we do have some footage from Larry's team that we're going to take a look at. Where were these photos? Ben, those were at St Albans. If you missed the beginning of the video, those were from St Albans Sanitarium up in Radford, Virginia. We did a weekend trip up there 2 weekends ago now. Something like that.
Something like that?
Yeah, and we assisted in a public investigation that was held there. Mm-hmm. And now we're going to look at some evidence from our friends over at Florida Bureau of Paranormal Investigation and Indian River Hauntings, LLC. Talking to him about this today because I saw these pictures today and I was like, that's crazy. The lighthouse afterwards.
Right.
Asking, did I? You guys missed all of that because I didn't have the microphone on that slide. So me explaining everything that was, same with the St. Albans. I forgot to put the microphone on that too. I need to get my shit together.
I think we need naps.
Yeah. So those pictures that I spent a minute describing, I'll describe to you again. So you saw like in that picture to the left of the lighthouse at the bottom was that figure.
Right. Almost looked like a fisherman type in a slicker.
Yeah. They did some...
Hi, Kiwi.
We have a cat. Get down. They did some digging afterwards, and they were able to find. Well, they had a photographer. He sent the pictures to, and they said, I can't figure out why this happened. Okay. It's not like some random anomaly that's in the picture. And then they found out that they had these marker signs around the lighthouse that had figures on it like that. And then so he called the lighthouse and showed them the picture. And they also confirmed that they think it is one of their marker pictures with the person on it.
Were they there doing the After Dark tour?
They rented it out for themselves. It was only them.
Very nice.
Yeah. Hey, Haley. So yeah, it's a good example of like how if you find a piece of evidence that you're like blown away by.
Right, because it definitely there's definitely something there, but it's a sign.
Yeah. So That's a good example of what to do. Like, oh, I found this. Go back before you get too excited. Go back. What could this possibly be? And then, like, he went as far as to call them to say, "Hey, this is the picture that I got," and they said, "Yes, we think it's one of those."
I mean, I looked up when Viagra was made.
Yeah, because we got to hit on the spirit for those just joining. We got to hit on the spirit box in St Albans talking about Viagra, and Jackie went and looked up the dates of when Viagra was created to see if anybody went to St Albans when it was active could have had Viagra.
Because I was like, "There's no way, no way."
But I think that's about all we have for now. It's a shorter episode. Well, it's shorter. It's been 31 minutes. And some of those minutes, you couldn't even hear me talking because I didn't hook the microphone in that slide. Which I'll do that after this so that we have that for the future. Yeah. New laptop. I gotta figure OBS out all over again.
Hey, I'm practically useless.
So let us know what you want to hear about next time. Like I said, we're doing everything spooky. Next time we'll actually be able to talk about this other location that we're doing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And that's coming up in two weeks, right?
Today is the 3rd.
And it's
So it's in 16 days.
Yes.
Math.
Math is good. I don't math. Well, I do. I just don't like to.
Yeah. So yeah, in the meantime, let us know of anything that you wanna hear about. Let us know what you think of the things that we've discussed today. If you read those books, let me know what you think about those.
And we've been talking about checking out some closer places, so Florida local type places. So if there's a place that you want to know more about, let us know.
Yeah. And we'll be happy to check it out. Like places that we know about already that we've done, or, Hell and Blazes.
Right.
The place that we're going to do. Stuff like that. So let us know what you want to see, and we'll see if we can't get in there. And if you want to come along, we can discuss that as well.
Let us know.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Can't believe I didn't have the microphone on.
It is what it is. Right, Kiwi?
Right, Kiwi.
Like, the whole time I went to this